photography studio in a little town in Minnesota. My dad took snapshots, but mostly took 8mm movies of the family. And I grew up loving the camera. And when I was an art major in Minnesota, I studied photography as well. When I went to the University of New Mexico, I studied with Beaumont Newhall, the art history side of things. So the photography runs very deep, or the love of photography runs very deep within me. And so when Angie asked me to do this, and by the way, how I know Angie so well is that I take a lot of pictures on my cell phone, and I bring them over to Crick's camera because I don't trust the future of technology to be able to contain and repeat my images. So I bring them over to Crick's and I print them out, hard copy. So it's just a fun thing that I do, and I got to know Angie that way. So that's how I'm here, I think, and I'm happy to be here. What I will tell you is that when Angie asked me to be the juror for this exhibition, I kind of gulped because she told me how many works I could include in the exhibition. And once I started looking through the files that she sent me in the Dropbox, I went, oh my goodness, I'm going to do this. Because frankly, everything I saw was great. It was really, really good, and I have to commend all of you for the level of quality and the commitment that you have to your medium and to the image and to the ideas that are behind it. So this was, I can't tell you how long it took me to do this. Angie said it'll be kind of simple. You just kind of go, no, it was not simple. It was really hard. And I know that in the end, you know, there probably were people that felt sad that they weren't included, and I apologize for that. But we only, as you can see, look how much space we gave between each work. We got in about as many as we could possibly fit on the walls of this space. So I'm really happy we get to what we do. So that's by way of introduction. I thought I would just read, I don't know if you had a chance to read this juror's statement in here, but I thought about this a lot when I wrote this, and I'll just read it to you and then I'm going to respond to it. What does it mean to stop time in an expanding, whirling universe? The 33 photographers represented here have answered that question in as many ways, in color and black and white, and in straight and manipulated images. They have captured exquisite moments of mystery and revelation, irony and dignity, wit and tenderness, action and calm, all within the spaces that are both vast and intimate. In the process, they have engaged us in what Marcel Proust called la recherche du temps perdu, the search for lost time. And I think when I look at the works at photography in general, and of course you know our photography collection at the Nelson Atkins is extraordinary and just continues to grow by burgeoning numbers. It's an incredible gift that we have there. What is so important, I think, about the physicality of these images in this space is exactly that. They are images, they are things that we can look at, that we can go back to. They're not going to go away because they got overloaded on the web. They're not going to be destroyed somewhere along the line. They're here in the here and now. And what they're about, all of you have your own individual voices and your own individual interests in the kind of subject matter that you choose, in the media that you choose, whether it's color, black and white, manipulated, straight, whatever it is. You're all thinking about something, and that something is a still, frozen image that is sustained, and it lives on. Like works, like paintings, like sculpture, these are things that live in the world, and they're not transitory. They're not going to go away. They're here. And I love that sense of permanence about them, the sense that they are here, that you've committed to not just taking the picture and leaving it in your camera, but going through the more difficult work of printing it. And so there's a vision. There's the first part, as you I'm not talking to the enlightened here, but you know, you start with the vision. You see something. You stop time. You see something, you want to capture that moment. And part of that is nostalgia, part of that is just the sheer wonder, part of it is the beauty of what you've just experienced, whether it's a natural scene or some kind of a light effect or something that's manipulated within the camera. It's something that's worth saving. And by saving it, and by actually printing it out, and whether that involves, again, manipulation on the printing side of things, or whether it's just a straight print, we all know how hard all of that is, you have given us works of art. And for everybody who comes here tonight, or comes here in the future, and sees these photographs, you've given them a tangent, a point of entry into the world. The world is spinning, we know it. It's going so fast we hardly can catch our breaths. But these photographs cause us to stop and look. And when we look, we think. And when we think, we make connections. We can make connections with the photograph, with the photographer, even though we may not know the person. We make connections with the photographer. We make connections, in this case, in an exhibition like this, with the works that are next to or adjacent to or across from. We make connections. And those kinds of connections enrich us intellectually and emotionally. And we need it. This is the stuff of life. I would hate to go through a life in which everything buzzed by me and there was no saving any moment. That would be tragic. And, as we also know from history, those who don't know about the moments, don't know about the history, don't have a sense of a trajectory of anything in the world, are condemned to repeat it. And what I see here are new visions, new ways of thinking, new subjects, familiar subjects but seen in interesting ways, and creating a conversation across the room in all sides, next to it, and in all possible relationships, and then entering into the minds and the eyes of each individual who's seeing these things. And every single one of us is going to go away from this room tonight changed. In the same way that we're changed by looking at a painting at the Nelson Atkins, reading a book, going to a movie, going to hear live music, listening to a recording. Everything changes us if it's of that quality that we want to pay attention. And this is all worthy of attention. And so I thank all of you for the amazing work that you've done, for your commitment to the idea of photography, and your commitment to the craft of photography and the art of photography, because what we see here is really terrific and can stand among any exhibition of photography that one could see anywhere, truly. So that's all I have to say.